Example 8, what to do if both base and exponent contain x. We want to be able to differentiate y, which is equal to x to the power of the square root of x. So let's go ahead and write down that step. So we have y, which is equal to x to the power of the square root of x. Okay, and now we do know that x has to be greater than 0 because of our function. Now, what we're going to do is we can take the natural log of both sides of this function. So we have the natural log of y, which is equal to the natural log of x to the power of the square root of x. Okay, and now in step number 3, we have the natural log of y, and now using the power rule of logarithms, this is going to be the square root of x times the natural log of x. Okay, now we can take the derivative of both sides. So if we take the derivative with respect to x of the natural log of y, and then we are going to take the derivative with respect to x of the product, the square root of x, times the natural log of x. So here we're going to have 1 over y times y prime. On the right side, we're using the product rule. So we're going to take the derivative with respect to x of the square root of x times the natural log of x, plus we're going to take the square root of x and multiply that by the derivative with respect to x of the natural log of x. Okay, so on the left side, we're going to have y prime divided by y. Okay, remember that the square root of x is the same thing as x to the 1/2. So when we take the derivative of that, we're going to get 1/2 times x to the negative 1/2 times the natural log of x plus the square root of x times the derivative of the natural log of x, which is 1 over x, times the derivative of x, which is 1. Okay, now let's simplify this a little further. So we have y prime over y, which is equal to, in the numerator, we're going to have the natural log of x, and the denominator is going to be 2 to the power of x to the 1/2, which is the same thing as the square root of x, plus we have square root of x divided by x. Okay, so on this side here, we want to be able to add these two fractions. So we want to be able to find a common denominator between those two. So the common denominator between those two is the following. Two times the square root of x. And this is also 2 times the square root of x. So we can multiply this by 1. The natural log of x times 1 is the natural log of x. Over here, we need to multiply by 2 times the square root of x, and multiply this by 2 times the square root of x. So in our numerator, we're going to get 2 times the square root of x times the square root of x, which is going to give us 2x. In our denominator, we're going to have x times 2 times the square root of x. So we have that x here that we're multiplying this by. And so if you notice there, we can simplify that x and that x. So we have y prime over y, which is equal to the natural log of x plus 2 divided by 2 times the square root of x. And now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by y. So we have y prime, which is equal to y times the natural log of x plus 2 over 2 times the square root of x. And let's go back to the beginning. What do we know that y is equal to here? Well, we know that y is equal to x to the power of the square root of x. So we're going to replace that y here. So our answer is going to be the following: y prime, which is equal to x to the power of the square root of x times the natural log of x plus 2 over 2 times the square root of x. Therefore, there is the derivative of our function.